Righto, so I'm going to show you where to find all 20 Dreamcatchers throughout the map. So I'm going to start up in Amberino. Go to Grizzlies West, and I'm going to go just south of the S in the word West. And just as you come along this pathway here, you'll see it's just up on top of that hill there. So you've got to find a nice little spot where you can get your horse up, or you can go on foot, it doesn't really matter, but you'll get to the top of this hill here, and you'll see this one tree that doesn't have any leaves on it. It's the tallest tree up here, and that is your first Dreamcatcher. So your next one is about halfway between that one and Window Rock. We're just going to put a marker right about here, just along this long trail. It's just on a section there as the trail starts to go north again. And as you're running along the trail, you see this log here that's fallen down and it's kind of sticking out a little bit. You'll see it as you run past it. We're going to go up where that log is, and it's the tree directly behind that log. It's kind of a little hard to spot. If you can't find the tree, use Eagle Eye, and that should help you find it. So the next one, we're going to go further along. Make your way to Katora Springs, and we're going to go pretty much directly east of the nose of the legendary wolf that appears in Katora Springs, just across the other side of the road, pretty much in line with its nose. So I'm coming from the south, and as I get to the marker, take a right, go off the path, and you'll come over to this little group of trees. It's the thickest tree over here. The rest of them are real skinny, thin trees. The one with the Dreamcatchers on it is the thickest one that you'll see over here. So that's Dreamcatcher number 3. For your next one, this will be your last one up in Amberino. We're going to follow our way the whole way along that trail that leads east, and you'll get to this place called the Loft. So we'll put a marker just to the west of the Loft. And when you get there, you'll see this tower up on a hill there to the left, and you'll see a few trees there to the right. Just follow the path down to where the marker is, and you'll see this stump here. It's like a tree that's been broken off at the top. It doesn't have any leaves on it or branches. It's basically just a really big stump. That's your Dreamcatchers for number 4. So for the next one, we're going to go down to Roanoke Ridge. We're going to Deer Cottage, which is just south of Brandywine Drop. And you'll see this marker I put on right here. You'll have to be pretty precise with this one because there is a lot of trees around this area. But we're going to run down this trail from the east, and as soon as we get to the main road, we'll cross over, run straight towards the river, and you'll see this tree here that doesn't have any leaves on it pretty much the whole way up till you get to the top. There's a couple like this around, but this one happens to be just the biggest, tallest one, the thickest one as well. So that's your 5th Dreamcatcher. The next one's a little bit south from where that last one was. It's not far away. We're going to put a marker right between the top of the N and the E in the word Annesburg. And if you just head to that area, you can't really miss this one because it's the biggest tree in the area. It doesn't have any leaves on it. It just looks like a big spooky tree kind of thing. Just hanging off to the side of the path right there. It's a very obvious one. So that is Dreamcatcher number 6. So for the next one, it's a little bit southeast of where that last one was. We're going to put a marker just under the U in the word Annesburg, just across the road there, just as the road starts to bend back to the south. As we get there, you're going to have to go up this little hill to the right and just go through these little trees here. It'll bring you to like a cliff edge, and you'll see that tree there that doesn't have any leaves on it is the Dreamcatcher tree. If you're coming at this one from the east, you'll have to go around and come in from the west because you can't get up there obviously. Dreamcatcher number 8 is not very far away again. You'll see Dreamcatcher number 7 is just there, the one we just got. So we'll come down and put a marker right about here, just off the trail. This is actually like up a hill. So you'll have to go up a pretty steep hill from that last one. But when you get to the top, you go past these trees and a rock and then turn off to your left. You can use Eagle Eye if you're not sure because this one is kind of hidden amongst the trees, but it's the taller tree just off to the path. And you'll see the Dreamcatchers in it for number 8. So for Dreamcatcher number 9, we're going down to Elysian Pool, which is just a little south again, and put a marker just a little bit off to the right of the top corner of the E in the word Hanover. And when you get there, you'll see this kind of burnt out chimney off to my right here. Run past that chimney, And when the trail starts to go back around to the south again, we're going to take a right up that small little hill. And you'll see a bunch of trees up here, and they're kind of all on their own. It's the biggest tree that is sitting on its own in this open clearing up here. And that's Dreamcatcher number 9. So for number 10, we're going to go all the way south to the Blue Water Marsh. And it's directly north of the B in the word Blue Water, on the north side of the river. So you'll come to this little part here that's like a fork in the road. There's about 4 or 5 trees in amongst here. There's a couple of taller trees that don't have leaves most of the way up them. And there's, as you see here, there's a couple of shorter trees. It's the wider one of the short trees. That's your Dreamcatcher number 10. So this one and the next one will be the only 2 Dreamcatchers you're going to find in Lemoyne. And this next one's a little bit hard to explain where it is, but it's in this open clearing here. It's directly to the east of the stables that you'll find near Dewberry Creek. Just make sure you go on the eastern side of the train tracks. It's a little easier to explain now that I'm here. You'll see this stump of a tree to my left as I come off the path, and it's this one tree here that doesn't have any greenery on it. It sticks out because all the trees around here are pretty full of leaves and stuff like that, but this one has none, so that's how you'll spot this one. So for number 12, we're just going to head a little bit north from that last one. You'll see Dreamcatcher number 11 towards the bottom of the screen there. We're going to go past Aberdeen Pig Farm and put a marker roughly where I just put that one. And as you head over to it, you'll see that it is pretty well the only tree in this open field out here. I wasn't too worried about the marker for this one being entirely accurate. As you can see, it's kind of a little bit off to the north there, but you can't really get it mixed up with any other trees in this area, so it's not a big deal. Your next one is actually inside the O in the word Hanover. So just put a marker inside the middle of the O. Head up past Emerald Station. We're going to run along these train tracks here, and when we get to the marker, take a left, cross the tracks, go up the hill. And you might need to use Eagle Eye for this one. It is a little bit tricky because the tree is kind of buried in amongst all the other trees, so yeah, it blends in really well, but Eagle Eye, you shouldn't have any trouble at all. You can see how far away from the tracks I am there. That's Dreamcatcher number 13 anyway. So for number 14, make your way down to the Heartland Overflow, and it's kind of right between the A and the N in the word Hanover. Right on that little bit of land that kind of rounds off where the water is. As you can see, there's 2 trees here. It's not the big giant one, it's the small little half dead looking one. So that's Dreamcatcher number 14. You can see I wasn't entirely accurate with the map marker, but it's really hard to miss once you get here anyway. So for number 15, we will head up into the Heartlands, and we're going to go to the top left corner of the N in the word Heartlands. It's up on top of this hill up here, and it again is the only tree in this area. You can see there's no other trees, just this one half dead looking one. Got Dreamcatchers all through it. It's a very easy one to find. And if you already have any Dreamcatchers, I assume you've probably got this one anyway. So we'll move on to number 16, which is just on the western side of the Heartlands. And if we go on the western side of the train tracks near the E in the word New. And this one is kind of hidden pretty well, so you'll just watch where I go. Cross over the tracks, we'll run around this old stump of a tree, run in amongst them all, and when we get to almost the edge of like a short cliff we've got here, use your Eagle Eye, and you should be able to look at these trees here and find your Dreamcatcher number 16. Number 17 is nice and easy. We're going to go directly north of where that last one was, to the other side of Citadel Rock. And it's on the north side of the train tracks there. If we run along the pathway that runs parallel to the track, we'll go under this little bridge here, and you'll get to 2 trees side by side. It's the tree on the right. You'll see there, if you use your Eagle Eye, it'll have the gold kind of smoke around the right tree. So for Dreamcatcher number 18, we're going to go west to the other side of Valentine. And it's directly under the E, the first E in the word Valentine. And when you follow this main path down, you'll take a right onto the dotted path that kind of bends back around towards Valentine. Just on that bend there, if you use your Eagle Eye, you'll see a little stump, and there'll be your Dreamcatcher tree just behind the stump. So that's number 18. So for Dreamcatcher number 19, it's directly south of that last one. We're going to go down to the Dakota River. And as I'm running on the path to the east from the west towards Caliban Seat, just keep running along that path and you'll see these trees that are really close to the path. When you get to them, use your eagle eye. And it's the closest tree to the pathway actually. It's very close to the trail that you'll be running on. So that's number 19, and we've got one more. We're going to go a bit south again. We're going to go just past Limpany there towards Flatneck Station. Put a marker right where I do, just here. And follow that same path that we were just on the whole way around towards Flatneck Station. When you get here, you'll see that the tree is up on top of a cliff. So we're just got to run around a little bit. Just run around up the hill and along, and it's this dead tree up here. So that is Dreamcatcher number 20. That is all of them. What will happen now when you get your 20th Dreamcatcher, he'll open up his journal and he'll draw a picture. And the picture is all the locations of the Dreamcatchers that we just went to. And they are all joined together. That kind of vaguely represents a bison or a buffalo. That's the picture anyway. But all the X's that you'll see on the page there's actually one extra that is not connected. It's not joined up. And if we go back to where that X is, it takes us back to Elysian Pool, over in the eastern side of the map. I'm going to put a marker just at the very top corner of Elysian Pool there, because there's a waterfall. You can see here, I'll zoom in on it and I'll show you which X I mean. It's that one right there. That's the only X in the picture that isn't connected to the other one. So we go over here, we go to this waterfall. If we actually just go into the water and go behind the waterfall, it takes us to a little cave. So bring your lantern because it gets really dark in here. Just follow the cave through, follow the orange water. It's going to take us all the way to this back room that's really well lit up. Unless you're here at night time, then it's still going to be dark, but if you come here in the day, you'll get to light at the end of the tunnel. And just climb up here, climb up the rocks. You're climbing about halfway up. And off to the right here, you'll see it's almost a little cave that you can climb up to with a bunch of paintings inside. And you'll see that painting of the buffalo right there. So inspect that and go into that circle that you can see right on the buffalo's head. And take out the ancient arrowhead. And that will end the Dreamcatcher's mission. So what the ancient arrowhead does is when you're using the bow, your stamina lasts twice as long. So that's always handy if you like hunting and stuff. But that's it for this video anyway. I hope it helped you out in some way. If it did, like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.